today, excited about today, getting us a chance to, what we're doing is we're updating, or, everything progresses and transforms, and different ideas come in, learn things over the years. So right now we're going back and talking about different parts of the system. And I think the best place to start right now would just be kind of the intro or the philosophy of what we're trying to do with the system. The big thing for us is the attitude, because sometimes I don't want to sound like I'm preaching to anybody, but it's not just a football place; it's a system. There's a ton of great football players out there, and there's guys who know a lot more football X and O's than I do. And there's millions of cool things to run and different concepts and running game, passing game. The whole thing is, I really believe, though, we have to sell is what kind of attitude we play this game with, what kind of attitude we run our offense with. All right, and there's some key things to me is, all right, and one is that you will drive the attitude of your football team. All right, they will play what you coach them to play as. All right, and so if you are got a passion and your energy, and you're pushing them, and you're trying to go fast, and you're coaching fast, and you're doing those things, your kids will become those type of players. Right? If you're stopping the practice and you're chewing Joey out while another 20 guys stand around and watch you yell at him, you're undecisive on what you're doing in practice and those type of things, then I believe that's what kind of football team you're going to have. Right? So the main thing for us is we want to create an attitude, and that's very personal, because everybody's different. My attitude is going to be different than yours. Yours is going to be different than his. So it's going to kind of take on your personality. So create an attitude. Right? So you need to decide what is the attitude of your football team. I'm going to tell you what I want my guys to be like. All right, a couple things. All right, number one is, all right, I want them to have great energy, passion. All right, I want them to have ownership of the system. All right, I don't want them to rent the system. I don't want them to rent this offense. I want them to buy it. All right, I want them to have to be invested in it and feel it's their offense. Okay, not that they're just doing what Coach Mazzone wants them to do. That this is what we do. So for you to have ownership, or you to allow them to have ownership, you need to allow them to have feedback and have input into what you're doing. So you got to ask them, right? Hey, put them on the spot. Hey, what do you guys need to get? What do we got to get better at? Do you guys like this concept? Hey, coach, I think if we did this on this concept, don't just blow them off. Say, hey, that's a good idea. Let's look at that. So the more you can involve them in the process, the better. All right. I think we have to have when I say ownership, I'm really talking common purpose. Right? We're all in this together. Common purpose. All right. So create the attitude, energy, passion. All right. We're all in this together. Let's all be in the same foxhole together. All right. Now, then, if we're going to do that, though, we've got to definitely, all right, deal with accountability. All right. If you're going to own something, you all of a sudden are accountable for it. All right. You can't just give it back to the Hertz car dealer. All right. Oh, so sorry, put a dent in it, but not my problem. Okay. So you got to have some accountability. So how are we going to make our players accountable? How are they going to make me accountable? All right. So those are other things you need to look at. All right. The last thing, philosophy is, if you want to play fast, all right. So basically, what we're trying to do is put the ball in our playmakers' hands in space and let them create yards for us. So we need to create space and create opportunities for our playmakers. All right. So that's kind of the whole thing. All right. And we're going to do some of that by formations and motions and those things, but we're going to do a lot of that by tempo also. All right. I think you're going to have to, I think in offense, you always talk about a couple of things, right? What's the leverage of the defense and what's the numbers of the defense? All right. And I want to get lined up and run my stuff fast. All right. And I want to put the pressure on the defense to get lined up on me. So I never want to play defense on offense. I don't want to get up there and say, oh no, we can't run that play, or oh man, we can't do this, or man, they've stopped that play, or those type of things. We need to check, or we need to audible. We need to do all these things. I want to minimize that as much as we can. All right. So when we hit the field for practice, when we go to meetings, we want everybody to feel that urgency of the situation, even in our meetings. All right, we got 10 minutes. We got to get this concept done. Hey, we're going to pop up and go do a walkthrough real quick for 10 minutes. Then we're going to be back in the meeting and we're going to talk about this run game we're putting in. Hey, we're going to pop up. We're going to go walk through that. Anything you can do to get that feeling to your kids, and the same on the field, right? Is that we got 20 plays. We got to get these 20 plays done in 8 minutes. Right, we get lined up, get them called. Right, and we're going to make mistakes, but we're going to correct our mistakes in the classroom. We're going to correct our mistakes in walkthroughs or in your individual time position, coach. But when we go team, all right, we are playing the game. Right? We're not wasting time standing around coaching guys. We are coaching our attitude of our football team at that time. All right. So if you want to play fast, you have to practice fast. All right. So those are just a couple, thoughts that I've got, with the philosophy of the offense. Where you kind of start at. It's more of a culture. It's more of an attitude. I mean, plays are plays. Come on, yeah, we got some cool plays. Yeah, but everybody's got some cool plays. All right. What we put in how we add, which we're going to talk to in one of our next sections, is the communication and the formations and how you communicate, the plays to your players and the coaches and, that whole deal. And then another part, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about, okay, how do we structure practice to get the most out of it in an hour and a half? Or what if you got guys that got to go play defense and you only got them for 45 minutes because they got to split time with the defensive guys. So we'll hit all those in upcoming sections. But thank you. Hey, hope you enjoy this. This is just information I want you guys to know. That's basically all it is. It's some things I've learned over the year. He's clapping for me. He's a smart ass. All right. It's just things I've picked up. I've had a chance to be around a lot of really good football coaches, learned a lot from these guys. And I think part of it is giving back, and because somebody taught me something, hopefully you guys can pick something up from this. Thank you.